Good evening. The Dolores County Broadcasting Network presents the DCTV 4-H Evening News Program for Monday, November 30th, 2015. Camera people, Devlin and Keegan. Video engineer and producer, Russell. Sound engineer, Ciara. Teleprompter, Edward. Prompter, Myra. With news anchors, Nicholas. Meteorologists, Brendan. And this is News Director Ciara, and now the news.
Help keep our kids' news show on the air by becoming sponsored. To buy a sponsorship, just call 970-677-4119. Thank you, and now the news. Public notice, Tuesday, December 1st from 5 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. Join us for a call-in show with Colorado Trust Initiative for Dove Creek. Hello, I'm Nicholas, and the following story is how to slow climate change with a fake volcano. There's a cheap, quick, dirty, and controversial way to combat global warming. It involves replicating the planet cooling effect of volcanic eruption. The idea is to mimic Pinatubo by using a fleet of modified business jets to inject fine droplets of sulfuric acid into the stratosphere, where they would combine with water vapor to form a fine sulfate particle that reflects sunlight away from the Earth. Scientists estimate that a few grams of sulfite will be enough to counteract the growing effect of a ton of carbon dioxide. The cost of this planetary protection, perhaps 0.01% of the annual world gross domestic product, in other words, almost nothing. Naturally, there's a catch, several in fact. The sun shield will merely mask the rising concentration of greenhouse gases. It adds one pollutant to counteract another. It will reverse the progress to closing the hole in the ozone layer. Sulfate particles falling from the sky could cause pollution deaths. It will leave fertile coral reefs, explode to deadly bleaching. It could even become a cause for war if one country decides it was harmed by another's climate meddling. Sounds like it's a brutal, ugly technical fix. Now here's a story from the Durango Herald. Snow builds up north of Durango. Scattered storms brought light snow to Durango on Friday morning, but nothing accumulated. That's likely to remain the cause through Saturday and into Sunday, said Ben Moyer, was a meteorologist with the Grand Junction office of the National Weather Service. This developed a little north of you in the foothills of San Juan Mountains, he said. It was actually snowing pretty good in western central Colorado. Purgatory Resort had received 5 inches as of 4 p.m. Friday. Wolf Creek Ski Area reported 11 inches from the storm. Silverton Mountain Ski Area is not planning to open until December 19th. All the passes in the area are reported to be icy and snow-packed in spots. The storm should clear out of the region Monday. Climatologists said this will be a big El Nino snow year for South Colorado. We're expecting another system next week, and that setting up well up with a El Nino pattern, Moyer said. Now here's another story. Goat becomes pals with a tiger who was supposed to eat it. Timur, the goat, was meant to be nothing more than a tasty meal for Amur, a Siberian tiger living in a safari park. Timur had other ideas. The stubborn animal was sent into a tiger's enclosure earlier this week as one of the predator's twice-weekly meals of live animals, the park said Thursday. However, no one had taught Timur to be afraid of tigers. Instead of dutifully fulfilling its role on the food chain, Timur chased Timur out of the big cat's own sleeping place. Tiger, by this point, seemingly puzzled at the role reversal, opted against confrontation. Timur has been bedding down in his spot for 4 nights now. Amor has been banished to sleeping on the shelter's roof. Drama played out in the Promoski Safari Park in Russia's far southeastern corner. So far, Goat 1, Tiger 0. Now here's some laws in Illinois. Those that are 21 can drink legally, but must be enrolled in a culinary program to do so. It is illegal to hang obstructions from the rearview mirror, including fuzzy dice, air fresheners, GPS units, etc. You may be arrested for vagrancy if you do not have $1 bill on your person. You must contact the police before entering the city in an automobile. The English language is not allowed to be spoken. Must you speak Chinese? In Chicago, the law forbids eating in a place that is on fire. It's illegal to give a dog whiskey. What? Too many have been drunk? It's forbidden to fish while setting on a giraffe's neck. How's that even possible? Okay, here is Brendan, our meteorologist.
Hi, my name is Brendan and I'll be giving you the current weather. The current temperature is 29 degrees. The high for today is 31 degrees. The low was 12 degrees. Winds are up from 1 to 2 miles an hour from the south. The barometer is at 34.24 inches and is falling. The humidity is at 47%. Today there has been 307 inches of moisture and is falling, measured by the DCTV weather station. Moisture for the month, 1 and 8807 inch. Now here is our national weather outlook. Hello, I am your national weather reporter, Brendan, and I'll be giving you the big map. The national weather news. We have a band of rain and snow inland from Washington into California. The mountains of northern Colorado and from south Wyoming are getting snow. More snow is falling from the Dakotas and Nebraska into Wisconsin and Ohio. Rain and snow starts east Wisconsin and curves into Missouri. Picking up Missouri and curving into central Texas, running east and north through New York and down the Atlantic coast is rain. Possible flash flooding is forecast in Kentucky, Tennessee, and North Alabama. I am your weather forecaster, Brendan, and I'll be giving you the 5-day forecast. Tuesday, sunny. Mostly sunny, high 37, low. Tuesday, sunny, high 34, low 8. Wednesday, sunny, high 41, low 8. Thursday, partly cloudy, high 45, low 19. Friday, partly cloudy, high 49, low 19. Friday, partly cloudy, partly sunny, high 43, low 17. Now for our climate change report. This is climatologist Brennan, and I'll be giving you the CO2 report. CO2 is one of our principal causes, and it is important that we report the CO2 weekly change. CO2 traps heat in the atmosphere, which causes climate instability and resulting in significant swings worldwide hot and cold temperatures. The following are the numbers for the CO2 for this week. CO2 for the week November 30th, 2015 in parts per million ppm is 437. CO2 2 weeks ago, 400.35. CO2 last year, 397.74 ppm. CO2 10 years ago, 378.56 ppm. Thank you, Dr. Peter Tanz of the National Oceanographic and Atmospheric Administration and Michael McGee of the CO2 Now website for this information. Remember, you could keep our kids' show on the air by becoming a sponsor. To buy a sponsorship, just call 970-677-4119. Thank you. Now back to our news director.
That's the end of today's DCTV 4-H news program. This is the news director, Ciara, saying good night and thank you for watching.